Rubbish. That's better. Channel. Alright, is that all good? Alright, we've got the two charging too close to it. That's right, we'll sort that out. Okay. Hello, Ira, how are you, bud? You'll have to be more specific than that. Yeah, good, mate. I had a few issues with my heart, bud. So I've got that sorted now. And yeah, all good, mate. This is my second stream back in a while. Alrighty, so we've got our proper title. No fishing stream today, mate. It's a gardening stream, Ira. So let's just do that. Oh, wow, 14 people in here. Excellent. Excuse me for a second, mate. I've just got to put this in on Discord. Yeah, my heart went tachycardic, Ira. So what that means is my heart rate was going from 50 to 150 beats a minute with no control. So I was that unwell, mate. I actually was in grey. It looked like I was in like black and white instead of colour, you know. And yeah, quite concerned because you can actually get a stroke when you've got tachycardia. But I had the ablation, which fixed it for now. So we're all good. All right. Let me just bring up the chat. So what we're doing today is we planted some onions here last week. And what I'm going to do today is I'm just going to put some tulips, Dutch iris, and also some hyacinths into some self-watering potters, and we'll see how we go. There we are. Excuse me for a second. I'll just bring up chat so I don't have any disasters like last time. Oh yeah, we're still live, which helps. Okay. All right. So, welcome. All right, famo. So this is what we're going to do today. Today, what I've got is I've got a few different products. Now, my soil here is pretty terrible. It's not even soil, it's just sand. So with that, I haven't had a chance to make any soil up with like sand, sawdust, scraps, weeds and all that sort of stuff. So for the first time in about 30 years, I've gone and bought some potting mix and also some compost, okay? So let me just change this around. What we'll do is, that's a bit better. Thank you very much to the 12 viewers. Okay, let's bring this in more of a first person view. I think that would be a good idea. All right, let's see how that goes. Okay, so once again, oh wow, 16 viewers. Thanks, that's 16 more than I thought I'd get. All right, we don't need to do that. Let's do that. Okay. Alrighty, I'm still trying to remember all my spacings for my, that's better. The subject is over 50% of the screen. And while I'm going a bit loose in my motor, I'll be 70% of the screen. Okay, alright people, so what I've got here is, what we want to do is, winter's a really good time to put some colour into your garden. So what we've got is, we've got some tulips, got some red and white duos, Ile de France. I also managed to get my hands on a packet of black tulips. Just, I know that they're pretty well sought after. And on top of that, we've got some beautiful crystal star tulips that look like they're actually made out of cloth. Okay, so with the tulips and all that sort of stuff, they are quite a large bulb, okay, and what I've got here is, we're lucky because in Western Australia we've got Holman gardening products. So Holman make a fantastic range of self-watering pots. So basically what you've got is, you've got the little plastic insert that goes on the bottom and allows all the plants to just, you know, virtually self-water. So what I'll do, just come in here for a second, I'll just show you what we do here. It's pretty simple. Don't make gardening complicated, people. It's not designed to be complicated, okay? It's designed to be easy and enjoyable. You know, we don't have to try and sort of outdo everyone, you know? Now, so what we've got in here, right, I'll just show you what we're going to do now. So, with tulips, they say to plant tulips about 15 centimetres apart, right? I like to do it about 10, and then I like to feed them so they've got enough like food to nourish them and they grow quite tall. Tulips will grow 20 to 60 centimetres above the ground. So how well they grow solely depends on how well you nurture them, if you know what I mean, okay? So what we'll do is, okay, I'm going to try and fit all these tulips into 2 pots. All right, and look, what I'm going to do is, I've got some potting mix and I've also got some compost. With the compost, you can put as long as the roots of the bulbs are in the ground, or in this case in the pot, you can basically make them grow. And you can put like the potting mix on the bottom and you can put a bit of compost on top. Right, so compost will suppress weeds and it'll also give you the fact that it'll retain the moisture. Now the product that I'm using here, right, this is Black Magic potting mix. So with Black Magic potting mix, it's already got a soil wetting agent in it, okay, as well as the soil wetting agent. It's high potash. It's got enough food in the mix to last 6 months. So once you put it in the pot and you plant whatever you're putting in there, you don't really need to feed them again, which makes life a lot easier. Right, so, okay, that's a bit much straight up. Anyway, so what we're going to do here is, right, nice and level, like that. Okay, now, let's have a look at the, I'm guessing that's about 4 inches to there, right? So what we're going to do now is, we're just going to Actually, I'll just take a little... No, actually, I'll leave that. The good thing about this is, too, it'll have a nice dark potting mix that we have. It'll draw heat into it and keep warm even in the winter, okay? So what we'll do is, I've got the black tulips here. Let's go black and gold in one pot, and then we'll go black, gold and red, okay? And this one here we'll just mix up with red and white and other various colours, okay? So with this, now, and I'm not trying to make fun of everyone here. So what you do here, that's where the foliage come out, and the bottom part here is where the roots come out, okay? So when you plant them, okay, you plant them like that. Some people will soak them, you know, in water for a few days before they plant them. I don't worry about doing that, okay? And we need to get some more pots, okay? No, we've got another one there. We need to get some more potting mix, I should say. Right. So there we go. That's good. So what we've got here now is we've got the tulips pretty well spaced apart. Okay. What I'm going to do now. Well, let me have a look at that. That one doesn't look too well, does it? That's been hit by the harvester when they picked it. Yeah, that's not good. See that there? See all the mildew and that sort of stuff. So what we'll do is we'll put that aside. Okay, and we'll go back to Bunnings and say, "Oh, you cheeky buggers, stop being so rough with the gear." So now what we've got, okay, yeah, that should be plenty. We've got the tulip base in the potting mix, which is great, okay? What we'll do is we'll just do another one here. This is a really good way to economise on your potting mix as well. So what you do is use your potting mix down the bottom, and then you use your compost on top, okay? So you're going to have too many bulbs for these. Let's just do a little bit more of a concentrated plant. You know what, we can probably even do that, I think. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. What we have left over, we'll put in here. These self-watering pots are about $30 each. I think they're $29.66 at the local Bunnings. So for what they are, they're pretty good value for money. Okay. Now, let me just do these as well the same way. And then what we can do is we can actually fit all the tulips in. Right. Let's go with a black and red theme in there. So, see how these have already shot? Okay, what I did about 8 weeks before I planted them, because you always plant them on Mother's Day, which is tomorrow, right? What you do is you put them in the crisper of your fridge. If you don't do that, you end up with really short plants with not very big flowers, okay? That's one on the bottom. Now, let's chuck that in there. And what we'll do is we'll have one spare one for there. So now what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to leave these outside, okay? With self-watering pots, what they'll do is they'll just drain anyway, okay? Now this isn't mix, like potting mix, this is just compost, okay, to go on top. So you want this to suppress weeds and retain water, which is what it'll do. Right. Nice. Beautiful. Okay. So aside from the odd weed that you'll have to take out of them, because weeds get airborne, you know, you'll have birds that'll sit on the edge of the pot and then they'll excrete and all that sort of stuff. Right. Beautiful. Okay. And then what we've got there now, okay, lovely. We've got one pot here with tulips. This one's got tulips as well. Okay, and they've just got different colour themes. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put them down next to the eaves so they still get a bit of sunlight. And then once they get a bit of sunlight, they'll start to come out. The other thing is too, people, with these self-watering pots, these are really good, okay, to get your seedlings going in for that reason, okay. And yeah, they're a lot more maintenance free than having it in the garden where you've got to weed all the time, you know. All right, so this has got all the food in it, like so. You will lose a bit to like levelling and that. The good thing about this too is a lot of the chips in here are a lot bigger than the slots in the bottom, so they won't fall through, you know. Now, what have we got here? We've got some beautiful... Hello, 2 Pints. How are you, bud? We've got some beautiful black tulips, which are the ones in this hand. Okay, so what we might do is let's alternate them. Okay. How are you, 2 Pints? How's life treating you, bud? I think this is too many tulips for this pot, but you know, I don't really want to have a few $100 lying around in pots, if you know what I mean. So what'll happen is the oh, thanks, 2 Pints. Yeah, was a bit worried there for a while, bud. All right. So what we've done now is we've got a couple of pots that are done, okay, with tulips, and then once they shoot, I'll put some more material on the top of them. Yeah. Pots can get quite expensive to fill, people. I think that's why they like to have them in a nice big size, if you know what I mean, okay? Now, those mackerels still nervous, mate? Alrighty, now I'll give you a little bit of a tip too. When you're doing the pots, if you do them like this, okay, they'll always come out uneven, but if you do them like that, which is on the edge of a level shelf or whatever, right? You should go fairly close to getting him right. Now, what I'm going to do in here, okay, is I've got some really nice Dutch iris. Okay, Dutch iris aren't as big as the tulips, and you can plant them about 10 centimetres apart. But as long as I've got enough food and enough water, you can do quite a concentrated planting. Now in here, what I've got, never like the old days, Ross. So what I've got on here, see how these have shot? These are some hyacinths that I grew last year myself, okay? So each one of these, even these little ones down here, that's another hyacinth, see? Right, so what we're going to do is, we're going to plant some hyacinth as well, and then that way what we're going to do is we're going to have a variety of different like bulbs in the garden, just to bring in a bit of colour. The dahlias are starting to wind down now, because we're sort of going into the winter. Okay, and you know, you just got to... Oh, the east side, okay mate. Just go and chase those big tuna, Roscoe. So, with that, you just got to make sure that, you know, you've always got some form of green in the garden. Okay, and then that way it'll just attract what insects you do have. Oh, Devon, down here in Devon. Right. So, what do we got here? We've got some Dutch iris blue, and we've got some Dutch iris mix. There's only 5 bulbs in there. These are a really slim bulb. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll just have a little bit of fun. Right, we'll put a nice big tulip in the middle. Now, let me show you my highly scientific measuring system. Alright, so that's a 60 centimetre long pot, as I have 25 centimetre hand span. Right, so what we'll do here is this. We'll do a little crisscross, right, like this. We can get a lot more Dutch iris in a pot than the actually no, that's too close, let's chuck that there, than the tulips, right? Hello, Willy Wagtail, hang on. Our little mate, the Willy Wagtail's here. I'm just going to go and get some mealy worms and just work from there. Hello. Come on. Come here, help yourself. You know what to do. Right. So this little Willy Wagtail goes between my place and my neighbours. And they love... Hello, bud. There you go. Come on, yeah, grab whichever ones you want. And do you want some of these or what? Oh, there you go. There's another one. Look. Good. Go and feed the family. He's off to do the shopping for the wife and kids for the day. Alright. And the same old story when you've got birds hanging around your backyard. No sudden hand movements. Here you go, buddy. Okay. Going on a few more. This one's alive. Look here. Come on. Grab this one. Hey. What I'll do is I'll just chuck that down there. Okay, and now what we'll do is he'll just go in and try and get his own worms and that, the mealyworms or whatever. There we are. Beautiful. I'll make this a really intense planting. Right. We'll get a few around there. Good work. I like using these black marble products because they work. Okay, they're not as expensive as other potting mixes and garden mulches out there, which is really good too. I think they're made by the Rich Grow company, who've been around for about 100 years making gardening products, so they know what they're doing, you know. Alright. Alright. So here we have some Dutch iris in here. Great. Alright. Okay. There you go, bud. Help yourself. Go on, don't be scared. I'm not going to do anything. And what we'll do... And gardening's good, you know. If you've got a family and that sort of stuff, get the family involved. Get them to get their hands dirty and work around the garden and sort of know where things come from, you know. So, there we go. That's good when you've got the fungus and that on there, you know it's breaking down pretty well. Right, we've got another one here. Oh, hang on. Come on, bud. Come on. Are you full? Come on. You want some or not? Here you go, I'll just put it closer to the chat there. It's a good thing about Australia, you can practically grow anything. Alright, beautiful, just get that reasonably level now. Awesome. Right, so in here I've got my hyacinth. They do look a bit worse for wear though, that one especially. Hang on, let's have a look. Has they got any green in that or not? No, that's dried out. Oh, that's a bit of a bummer. Alright. That's had the proverbial as well. Right, so let's do this. We'll try and make it as easy as possible for the hyacinth. Right, those ones there have got the shoots on them. Right. That one, now see that there? That's got a little bit of green in there, okay? That will be okay, I think. Chuck that in there. Do you want some more? They always kill the mealyworms before they eat them too, so might take some into the golden pheasants, I think, but I'll wash my hands first. Alright, now what do we got here? Oh, saved by the bulb, pardon the pun. Right. Okay, good. Now, what we've got here is, we've got some smaller bulbs. These will turn into bigger bulbs. Right, so don't be afraid to maximise them, people, because 5 hyacinth bulbs cost you about $15. So the more that you can get to grow, the better for you, if you know what I mean, okay? And we'll just chuck that little small one in there and away we go. I'm not really a fancy gardener, I just like to get things done, if you know what I mean. Right, so we've got some Dutch iris dark blue here, and we've got some Dutch iris mixed. So what we'll do is we'll crisscross these. Right, let's chuck that in there, that one in there, that one in there. That's 3 that we've got done. Then we'll start here. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Let's start with that and with that. Now, for anyone that's interested, I'm going to put a schedule up tomorrow and actually try and stick to it. Okay. So basically, what I'm trying to say is we've got a fishing stream tomorrow. All right, and it'll be an early morning one. Okay, so let's just get some of these mixed. Ones in there. That's really good. Now, what I'm going to do is here, right, I'm going to take that tulip bulb down to the hardware that I got it from tomorrow. Right. Now, let's just I'm actually putting the potting mix back in here. Right. Like that. Then what I'm going to do is just a little bit less mulch on top, just to keep the moisture in and suppress the weeds and that. Right. One thing you've got to do too is you've got to resist the temptation to overwater bulbs. Bulbs are one of the garden left. We got a bonus one, fam. That'll make up for the one that didn't make it. Okay. So this is, that's my iris in here. Let me have a look. There it is. And we'll chuck it in there for now. Don't get over it. Right. Let's just. Now I could have filled those big pots that I had quite easily with potting mix and all that sort of stuff. And I mean, obviously, with these companies selling more potting mix is, you know, their business. So a lot of the pots you'll find, and a lot of times when you watch them, you know, on the television and that sort of stuff, they'll push to use the potting mix because it's got everything in it. In the cities, that's fair enough because, you know, you've got all this sandy soil that doesn't hold moisture or nutrients or whatever, okay? But if you've got areas where you've got good loam soils and that sort of stuff that have got a lot of organic matter, you don't need to use your potting mix and all that sort of stuff. Right. There we go. Beautiful. Now, the other day, right, in here, sounds like the drug chopper's out. Yep. Alright, so, in here the other day, I planted some onions while they're still germinating, right. You can, too heavy. Oh, he's back. Our little mate's back. If I put it on too heavy, what'll happen is the onions won't be able to germinate because they're quite thin and wispy when they come up, right? So what I'm going to do is just give this a light smattering, and that way what it'll do, it'll stop the moisture leaving the soil. Okay, same old story. Okay, there we go. And at least that way, you know where you're you know where you've planted everything. Okay. All right. So that's got all our California Wonder red onions in there. All right. What we're going to do now is we're just going to come over here. Got my big tidy up tomorrow or Monday, fam. All right. So in here, what we did, okay, is we planted garlic. Now, with the garlic, obviously, keeping the moisture in the soil is always going to be a bit of a headache, right? But when we did it, I actually put the what do you call it? That's right, I put the soil from the worm farm. No clip, thanks. Right. And look, people, once again, thank you very, very much for 35 viewers. Okay. Now, what I might do, I'll show you a little gadget that I bought from a hardware store. Right. So, because I don't think the mulch companies want you touching the mulch with your bare hands. Hey there, I am viewer. How are you, bud? Welcome to the stream, mate. I don't think this is going to work anyway, is it? Yeah, not too bad, mate. What are you up to? This might be a bit big for it, but we'll try it anyway. So what this does, right, is this allows you to spread whatever it is you've got in your spreader chamber evenly. Now, if this was the right size, right, no, we'll use this. If this was the right size, we could spread most of this mulch quite easily, right? So what we're going to do is we're just going to put the mulch on here. Oh, little bugger. Okay. Thanks for that, viewer. Right. So. And what this will do is it'll keep the moisture in the soil. So that way it'll allow the moisture to stay around the garlic bulbs that we planted. Alright. And then that way what they'll do is they'll germinate a lot quicker. Right. And what that'll do is that'll allow it to grow a lot more even plants than if we just had it willy-nilly, okay? Okay, now we didn't plant anything over that side. because I've got to make way for the Romanesco broccoli and all that sort of stuff. Oh, whoops. And what I'll do is I'll probably add some more of this mulch or compost or whatever it is, okay, as we go through the season. And look, so this is coastal sand, okay. Coastal sand has no organic matter in it, as well as having no organic matter. It doesn't retain moisture and it doesn't retain nutrients. Now the darker stuff that you see in here, that is organic matter that I've added from the chook pen, okay. So basically with that I've been putting like the dried chicken manure. You can't use the raw stuff, it's got too much ammonia in it. So I've been using dried chicken manure in this bed, and what it's been doing is gradually building the it's gradually been increasing the acidity but building the amount of organic matter in the soil. What I might do is I'll just see that if I've got a pH test available, and we'll just see what the pH is at, okay. We'll just get rid of our rubbish. All right. So what I've got here is a Manutech soil pH kit, okay. With the Manutech soil kit, what you do, so that's your chart. Basically what you have here, okay, is the red is too acidic. It goes to amber, then yellow, a jade, and sort of a the camo green, eventually up to the purple. Now that 10.5 or that 10 reading is an alkali reading, okay, whereas that's the acidic reading, okay. Now neutral is where you always try and get your soil to go in terms of optimum growing conditions, because when your soil is either too acidic or too basic, it'll landlock some nutrients, okay. And Mancubus, how are you, old boy? Hakan, how are you, my friend? For Norway trip, half your luck, mate. Go and get some of those big Atlantic salmon, mate, in the river Truska or Tromsø or something. How you been, old boy, Mancubus? Right. So, what we have here is we have a pH dye indicator, and then we also have a barium sulfate soil test kit, okay. Alright, it's quite a simple process. So what you do is, can we have a shout out for Hakan Angelt, please? Let me just see if I can do it. There we go, shout out user. Great. People, Hakan Angelt is a really good streamer on Twitch, okay? Does fishing content like us. I don't think the poor bugger's got enough space for a garden over there, but anyway, it is what it is. Right. This must be childproof, I can't open it. Right, so what you do is you just get some of the dye, right like that. Okay, so what you do is you get your soil sample, okay? You just put some dye on it, the one that's in the kit, and then what you do is just mix it through your soil, okay? You don't make a really wet paste, because then what you're doing is you're just trying to get the pH of the dye, not so much the soil that you're using or the sand. Right. So, there we go. Right, smooth that over. Then what we do is we get some of this barium sulfate, okay, like so. Just on top. All right. And let's just see what the soil's coming out to. Now, probably should have used... Oh no, we've got enough there. So see here, okay, where you've got that little tinge of just a slight, I'll probably see it better here. So what we're heading to is, that's a leaf, so you don't try and match it against that. So what we're heading to is in that neutral stage. Previously when I did the pH, just let me just pat this down again so I can make it a bit clearer on the screen for you. You tasted the soil. Hey look, Mancubus, I don't know where you grew up, bud, but yeah, I don't. Oh dear, how do you know that what you're eating was soil? Ugh, yuck. Right, we'll just give that a little bit more dye. Okay, fancy city slickers. No, mate, I'm from the farm as well, Mancubus, don't worry, mate. Right. So whose job was that, Mancubus? Hey? Alright, let's see if it works this time. That would be an interesting talking point around the dinner table there. Oh, mar, oh, par. Mancubus? Alright, now we'll do it. That's a bit better. Okay, famo. So now I don't know whether you can see it here, okay? So, see that darker green tinge? That matches neutral. It's taken me 3 years to get the soil to neutral. Okay, probably still a little bit on the basic side. See the colour there? So it's in between 7 and 7.5. I've got to start putting some more organic matter into the soil, okay? So what that does is that will allow all the nutrients to be accessed by the plants, okay? And then away we go. All right, so yeah. Right, just give me a second. Nah, serpents, away, but nothing at all, mate. Seriously, pal, you've got far more things to worry about in America than Australia, bud. Australia's nothing compared to America, bud. What's that? What's that brown spider that you've got that's equivalent to our whitetail? And look, people, if I can just ask a favour, right? We're going to be doing a lot more gardening and fishing streams on YouTube as well. Okay, so if you could please consider, whoops, going across to YouTube and subscribing for free. And look, if you just click on Australis TV in the title, that'll take us to our gardening channel, because what we're going to be doing is we're going to be hopefully getting partnered on 2 channels on Twitch, you know, which would be a bit of good fun. And yeah, just take it from there. So, oh, here he is. Come on, bud. Come and get your mealyworms. Our little mate's back. Come on. So we've got a little Willy Wagtail that lives in the garden, and he's practically our neighbour. So what I do, come on, I get some mealyworms there, and he comes in and helps himself. There you go, bud. Come on, mate. Here you go. You'll see him in a second. There you go. There you go, buddy. Look, look, look. There you go. Come on. I reckon he was eating out of the container when I was holding it before. So there he is. There's our little mate. Off he goes. He'll go and feed the nest now. Hey. Well, I actually don't think they're nesting at the moment, but... And having birds around the garden is really good, because it eats a lot of pests. And when they eat pests and that sort of stuff, they don't go onto your plants, if you know what I mean. So one thing we've got to do now is we've got to mulch around my capsicum plants. Now, for those of you that are new to the stream, welcome. This is the home garden. 2 things I've only ever really done properly is gardening and fishing. So it's the same old story. I only like to live stream topics that I know what I'm talking about. Right, so everybody's got a misconception about self-sufficiency. They seem to think that, you know, everyone can be self-sufficient. Self-sufficiency is full-time work, okay? You're not really doing anything other than making work for yourself. So there's a lot of misinformation out there that I'm a bit sick of hearing. What I want to do is just show people how you can have a few chooks in your backyard, like my relatives did for thousands of years in the old country when they were running around the mountains, you know what I mean? And you can virtually, grow and maintain your garden from your chook pen. So with chickens, they'll eat weeds, food, whatever, turn it into fertiliser and eggs. Okay, and yeah, they're a fantastic animal and really underrated. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're just going to give everything a little bit of a water. Okay, and there, take it from there. So bring that back here. Whew, now that I've got a bit more time on my hands, I can do this sort of stuff, you know. All right, so let me show you a really good weeder that you can make yourself. Okay, this is a cyclone gutter cleaner. If you bevel the bottom 3 edges like I've done, what you do is you make yourself a really good weeder, and you can use it all over the garden. Okay, so let's just chuck that down there. And the good thing about this is, as you can see, it's the right length so that you can get in and around your plants to weed them. And what this will do too is this won't hurt your plants. It doesn't have a really wide surface on it. Okay, let's Come on. Oh, I can't even clip that. Oh, well, life goes on. Right. So what I want to do is, I just want to get in and around my plants first. I've got some carry mulch there. Carry is one of the giant eucalypts that lives only in our area here, where I am. Right, and unfortunately it's really good. Well, it's the favourite food of termites. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll just dig around. Oh, it's a bit of blood and bone there still. Jeepers, went a bit slap happy with that, didn't I? And with your gardening and that sort of stuff, people, don't treat it as a competition, right? Each season is different, okay? And you've got to remember that, you know, well, virtually no two seasons are the same, okay? So, right. Now, carry and peat mulch, good stuff. And what this is going to do is, now that we've already weeded them, okay? Oh, thanks for that. I clipped the rock. Now that we've already weeded them, what we can do is we'll put a nice healthy layer of peat mulch around the plants. So what'll happen is, on those cold, rainy winter days, it'll take a fair bit of warmth around the roots. Now the other thing we're going to do too, okay, is I'm going to get some posts, and I'm going to put some posts up around these capsicums. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some black plastic, about 600mm high, and I'm going to put a barrier around the Hungarian sweet capsicums. In Macedonian we call them pipetki. And then what that's going to do is that'll help them winter over. And next year, or next season, which is only 8 or 12 weeks away, we'll have everything already in the ground. We'll probably lose a few of the leaves and they'll drop off a bit. But the good thing about that is, when the heat does come back, they'll be ready to go, you know. So, and look, with the way the cost of living's going at the moment, fam, I mean, these aren't any new fandangled methods or anything like that, right? So basically what this is what my pellet release taught me. They've been doing it for thousands of years in the old country to survive, and then you just pass the knowledge on. And I mean, you know, we're still in May, and I've still got Hungarian sweet capsicums forming on the plants. These plants are about 60 centimetres high, which is quite good for them, okay? And the good thing about this is, yeah, I mean, to buy these in the shops, Hungarian sweet capsicums are about $8 a kilo. So depending on how well you go, I don't leave them on the plant long enough to eat them. Right, so yeah, I mean, you'll get you get 2 or 3 kilos per plant. So 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There's probably Van, how are you, bud? Yeah, what this is designed to do, mate, with the mulch is designed for 2 things. A lot of people will make mulch up, right? And then what they do is they put manure in it, and that's not mulch. Okay, mulch is an inert material, usually some form of bark, and what it does is it does 3 things mainly. It keeps moisture in your soil, improves the organic matter in your soil, which leads to more microbes, and then it suppresses weeds, like you've said. Well, the other thing is too, Mancubus, I don't use any sprays on my veg. Okay, so with these, bud, what we do, okay, is yeah, I don't like sprays, if you know what I mean. And when you don't use really sort of high concentrated fertilizers, I mean, the highest concentrated fertilizer I use on here is Blood and Bone, but that's nothing, mate. It's not like the high strength granular fertilizers that you see out there, if you know what I mean. That can make a stick turn into a broom handle in about 3 months, if you know where I'm coming from. Right, so let's do that. Oh, also, if you've got plants in your garden that get hammered by parrots and that sort of stuff, just go to your local hardware, get 3 cable ties, turn that into a loop, right? And what you can do is you can slide that over your plant like that. Okay, boom. And then what that'll do is that'll stop all the parrots and that sort of stuff getting to your plants. I should have done it to all my plants, but anyway, I didn't. And yeah, so what that'll do is that'll keep your plants safe from like parrots and all that sort of stuff. The other thing is too, in here, what I've got here, see that there? So basically what happened is with that Hungarian sweet capsicum contacted the ground. Because it's contacting the ground, okay, it starts to break down. All right, a little bit of blossom in right there, but that's where it was touching the ground, as you can see. Got to try and keep everything off the ground, fam, otherwise they end up going bad. But that's okay, because when you've got chooks, I love them. Right. Now, well, Van, instead of thinking of weeds as a negative, right, let me suggest this to you, okay? Think of weeds as a positive. Let me show you why. Okay, so with this here, okay, so with this here, what I have is this is just really bad coastal sand, okay? So no organic matter, doesn't retain moisture, doesn't retain nutrients, nothing. It's terrible to grow stuff in commercially, okay? But if you've got weeds, okay, that's actually a blessing, my friend, and I'll show you why right now. So let me just chuck some of that in there. Hang on. Okay. So with your weeds are free organic matter. All right, it means you don't have to go out and buy fertiliser. It means you don't have to go out and buy soil. Right. So with that, think of it as a blessing, because you know that your soil's strong enough to grow weeds and that sort of thing, mate, which probably doesn't sound right, but you got to remember too, mate, a lot of these TV shows that you watch nowadays, right, they deal with modern methods. Modern methods are designed to sell fertilisers and to sell mulches and all that sort of stuff, right, okay. And then what it does is it doesn't teach you the old ways, okay? So what I'm going to do is you need a smaller shovel to do this, okay? So I'll just show you that. Right. So in the old days, mate, and I remember this because I'm born in 1970, so, you know, I was sort of on the tail end of all the, oh, you big meanie, all the boom fertilisers and all that sort of stuff, right? So let me give you a really quick crash course in how to turn weeds into organic matter. And not everything has to be mulched, mate. Right? So, and I don't know how long you've been watching the stream for, Van, but when I first came here, I had an almighty problem with no organic matter in the soil. So what you do, my friend, okay, wait till your weeds grow about 2 inches high, right, get your trusty old shovel like this, okay, and watch. That's what you do. Okay, you come in here, okay, turn it over, ta-da. So not only have you weeded that little section, what you've done, okay, is you've turned it over, so now that the soil that was on the bottom is now on top, okay? So let's just zoom in here and I'll show you what I mean by this. And this will save you a lot of grief, okay? Oh, you want your mealyworms, you cheeky bugger. Right, so see here? Right. Okay, so what I want you to do is just focus on this area in here. Oh, hang on, we've got both willy wagtails now. Just hang on a second, kids. Wait. All right. Hey, Loey, how are you, bud? Yeah, take that out, mate. It depends what it is, whether it's vinca and that sort of stuff. Probably smoke them. I suggest you smoke your grass clippings there, Goonie. Right? Nah, with your grass clippings and that sort of stuff, Goonie, what you should do is you never use grass clippings as mulch until they're breaking down and the seeds have been killed inside them. All right, so Van, see here. Loey, how are you, bud? Thanks for coming in, mate. Okay, so see that there? All right, beautiful. Turn it over. Like that. So that's a tomato that shot up on its own. That never used to do it before the soil. Right, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So see what we've done there, bud? What we've done is we've just got the weeds, turned them over, right? That'll save you a lot of grief in the long run, mate. In here now. Okay, there. Turn them over. Oh, sugar. A little bit off with my aim there, sorry family. Right, I'm getting old now. That's my answer for everything, I'm getting old. Right. Okay. Excellent, Laurie. Hope you're having a good weekend. Now, so in here now. Okay. Now this stuff here that's close to the plant, right, I'd avoid that. This is soursop, okay? In Australia, soursop has roots 3 times the length of the foliage, mate. You can't get rid of the stuff once you've got it, okay? But when you've got chickens, chickens love the stuff for some reason. So what you do is you throw it to your chickens and they turn it from weeds into fertiliser, okay? So up the back here, I've got a lot of weeds. What I'm going to do is, see that? Doesn't take you long at all. Okay? Doesn't take you long at all, bud. Alright, so what I've done up the back here, okay, is I've just picked a line with the shovel. Okay, probably the best place to show you what I'm trying to do here is up here. Oh, that's exactly right, Van. Yeah, like I said to you, mate, modern TV shows don't teach you old methods. In the old days, what they would do was they would let the grass grow, right? Then they'd go through with the horse and cart and just turn it over, mate. They'd put the grass on the bottom, right? And they'd put the put the grass on the bottom, and then they put the soil on top. Now, what we'll do here now, right, just come up here for a second. So what I've done in here is I've let my chickens have free range. They've just absolutely smashed everything in this chook pen, okay? Now that one there is eating the sow sob that I just threw it, okay? So that's eating the sow sob that I just threw it, right? So let's bring this here now. All right, so what I've got here is I've got a little garden bed up the top, okay? This one's a lot more open, so it'll be a lot easier for you to see, okay? Now, because this is more exposed to wind than the bottom garden bed, everything's sort of dropping off a bit quicker, okay? But let me show you what we do here, bud. Oh, nice one, Van. Oh, I'm a bit different, mate. I've got a bit of goat herder in me, so unless I can eat it, I don't want to grow it, you know? And you can usually tell that by looking at me. Right. This cooch is back. Don't like spraying cooch, but unfortunately, sometimes it's the only option you've got. Okay? So, all right. There you go, girls. Eat all this cooch up. I don't want it coming back in the garden. I don't want to have to spray it either. Okay. Right. So, any weeds like that I get, I throw them to the chickens, and I know that the chickens are going to eat them, okay? Now, in Australia, this weed's called marshmallow. See the wide leaves on it? Okay? So with that, chickens really like that too. Now, how are we going to do this without disturbing the plants? Oh, I've got my first capsicum of the year for seed, fam. That's good. Now, I don't know whether you can see what I've got here, right? But in here, I've got some weeds and that sort of stuff that have come up a bit. There's a bit of an nasturtium in here and all the rest of it. So Van, all right, just come in here, bud, like this, mate. Okay, there we go. Steady, steady. Right. Just chop them in a bit. Now where I'm here, I've got a bit of couch grass. And couch grass usually starts on the edges because where soil touches limestone, right, that's where a lot of the moisture sits. And yeah, couch will just go along and find it and just grow along that seam where there's all the moisture and that sort of stuff. There you go, girls. Aha! And that's the source of me couch right there. I've got a bit that's growing out from between. How can you grow on limestone, you bloody thing? Alright, girls, come on. You know it. This is, I wish veggies grew as well as weeds. This is called fleabane. Okay, it's a bit like candy floss for chickens, right? There you go, girls. Get some fleabane into you. I've just scattered a whole season's of seeds onto it. There is an old saying that the old farmers use, and that saying goes along the lines of 1 year's seeding equals 7 years of weeding. So the sooner you can get stuck into your weeds and turning them over, right, the sooner you'll get organic matter into your soil, okay, and that way you can start growing veggies or features like yourself, Van. Right, that's right. All right, so what I'm going to do here now, just to show you what we do, right, rather than go to all the effort, okay, of you know, ripping the weeds out, taking them away, and all that sort of stuff. You don't need to do that, people. Remember, weeds are free fertiliser. Okay, just like that. And what we've got now, right, now, like I said to you, right, I'm not a conventional gardener, okay? I don't mind my gardens getting a bit of weeds in them, because what that means is the microbes in the soil are continuously working, right? And you've got your soil activity. Now, this soil here, when I first moved here, and for people that have been in the stream for a long time, the soil here was white because it was just coastal sand. But I fenced this off to the chook pen and let the chooks in here, and then I just shifted the pen, and now what I've got is beautiful dark soil that I'm fairly confident should be able to grow just about anything. Yeah, and Van, like I said, just let your weeds grow a couple of inches high, mate, no more. Right. Here you go, girls. Sorry. All right. You don't want too big a shovel to do this, mate. Oh, don't do that, Jimmy, you idiot. I just cut that, you idiot. Ideally, as a mental note, you want to start digging your weeds and turning them over before they flower, okay? Once they flower, you're gone. This sauce turned out beautifully. With no rain. All right, so what you do, Van, if you've got clay, half your luck. Clay retains moisture and it also retains nutrients really well. Go and get yourself some gypsum or some dolomite, right, from your local gardening supplier. With clay, it's better to use gypsum because when you no, before they flower, bud. Never ever let weeds flower. Right, that's been my problem for a while. Right, now let's go over here on this side. What are you doing, girls? Are you all better since we got rid of the nasty chickens? I made the mistake of buying some chickens from outside, and what happened was they're a breed that's a bit narky, right? So what had happened is we had like 13 chickens in the yard, okay? So there was one group of 6 that always hung out together, and there was another group of 7. Could never get them to mix. The 6... Oi! You want... Get out of there, don't eat the eggs. I'll sort you out in a minute. So what we've done is, hey Cal, how are you, bud? We've turned the soil over, right? We put the weeds on the bottom, okay? And it's just free organic matter for the soil, but okay? And then what'll happen is, how are you, Cal? And what'll happen is, the weeds that are on the bottom now, right, will just break down, and you'll obviously have another batch that'll start on top, but what the hell's this? Oh, fake grass. God. So that looks like grass. Oh yeah, it's plastic. Actually, I wonder if AstroTurf would be a good weed man. That would be hilarious. What to do for dinner? Get her to cook dinner, mate. Must be her turn somewhere along the line. All right, there you go. Right, I've got a little bit of an area that I've missed, but that's okay. It's not sheep stations. No one's going to, die or anything like that. But as you can see, what we've done is before we started this, right, there was quite a few weeds around. And now what we've done is we've turned them over, right? And if you wanted to, you'd just run a little tiller through that, a little hand mixer, And then what that would do, that would fluff the soil, and you could seed straight into it, bud. Or plant straight into it, no problems. Right. All right. Oops. We got to have this one on the steps. Okay. So that's basically it, Fema. All right. Okay. Just excuse me for a second. Earning dinner. That's what I like about you, Cal. A man of experience. All right, fam. Hey, look, thanks very much for tuning in today. Okay. How long is your season, Mancubus, over there, effectively? Our season's about, I don't know, 8 months. So I've got, remember the garlic that was in here last year, Mancubus? I put it in there. And I've put the California red onions over there. Okay. So let me just do this. Thank you very much for the 45 viewers that have come in today. It's not even a fishing stream, and everybody's supporting us with the views. Okay. On top of that, let's see. All right. Let's throw a raid out. Okay. That's the chickens trying to sort themselves out. All right. So, slash raid Brave Star 160. Is that right? Oh, that's all right, Cal. Don't stress, mate. Thank you, everyone. Keep being awesome. And go across to YouTube and subscribe for free. And please follow us on Australis TV. That's where we'll be doing most of our gardening content on now. Oi, let's go.
Australia, my friend.